Alright, hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to part 2 of the RNG block. My name is Tayman. I'm going to be running Pokemon Puzzle League Super Hard Mode. I'm the world record holder in this category, and on commentary I have BB Forky and Demolition Derby.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey guys.
Alright, so I think we're just going to hop right into it. I'll have my commentators explain the mechanics briefly as we get started, but overall we're going to be using the same strategy for basically the entire run. So this is going to be a very cozy game, so get your bants in chat. 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's do this.
Always an adventure going off into this game.
Oh, I've already picked the wrong Pokemon. Who ended up winning the bid war?
Bulbasaur won by 10 cents.
Bulbasaur won by 10 cents. Man, someone couldn't pitch in that 11 cents to put Squirtle over the top.
It's alright, you're already
Alright.
wasting frames to go down, so... Well, anyways, this is Pokemon Puzzle League, and this is, at the core, it's a match 3 game. It's part of a series that's called Panel to Pond from Japan, or known as Tetris Attack in the US when it was first introduced. But it's a pretty fast-paced action game, adding some elements onto the match 3 mechanic. As you can see, Tayman's doing a lot of stuff right now, but he's going to be connecting these 3 in a row and looking for more blocks to like fall in places that's happening. So when he does that and they fall into one place and you see the 2 and the 3 popping up, that's what's called a chain. And then when he connects more than 3 in a row and the same clear, that's what's called a combo.
Yeah, so I got a good crush kill right there. Crush kill is just when they don't have any other moves. It's not the main strategy we go for, but sometimes it just ends up working out that way.
And so
One of you can explain.
while he's doing this, it produces garbage that goes to your opponent. That's the cool thing about this versus. I'll have Dev talk about that to you guys a little bit.
Yeah, so when the goal of this game is to essentially make your opponent run out of space, and the round is over when the blocks that are in their arena touch the top of the screen, and the stack itself tries to raise, and then your opponent loses. So what he's trying to do is stack up these garbage blocks as high as they can go in order to get the AI to sort of freak out, like you saw a little bit there, so that when the garbage touches the top, they lose. And you're going to see a very cool strategy. He's going to try and manipulate the AI a little bit by dropping a small block on 2 small blocks right next to each other, and try to get it so one of the blocks lands pretty low on the board, and that's going to cause the AI to do a little bit of weirdness, and it often leads to very, very fast kills.
And the way the AI is programmed, the reason for that is it likes to prioritize clearing the lowest garbage block that's on their screen. So when Tayman does the 4 combos, that's when you get the garbage blocks that are like basically cut in half. And when that happens, they can get divided at the bottom. So you're seeing a little bit of that now. The stack is kind of high, so he might get some clears. But it's always one of the best strategies to go for, because if one tower goes way lower than the other and he doesn't have like a clear at the bottom, he'll completely ignore the other half and just act like the match was lost. And you'll see instances of that maybe later on here, because it is RNG at its core, but this strategy has seen like a lot of uses. And compared to when this game used to first be run, like the world record was a high 20-minute time. Now it's in the 15-minute range, and average times are way down. And also he reset the game here, and Dev will explain why he did that.
Yeah, so reset strats are sort of a recent thing in the last couple of years, in that we've discovered that if you give the opponent too much of an opportunity to clear their board, they're just going to keep doing it, and they're able to use the garbage that comes as a result of clearing those garbage blocks really effectively in setting up chains and just clearing more of the garbage. And if you don't reset the match, then sometimes these matches can go on for 10 plus minutes. And there you see a really good kill. That's why we do the reset strats, is that one round could have gone for 2-3 minutes, and when he reset and came back, he got an 18-second kill. So reset strats are very nice in that regard.
I am very pro reset strats. I think more often than not, you're gonna not get the kill, and it's better if you would have just reset from the beginning.
I agree. I feel like it can kind of depend where you're at in the match as well. Like, because the AI is going to change a little bit as this mode progresses too. The later AI is definitely a lot faster. They kind of still like are programmed the same way in what they prioritize. So it's kind of a user preference, but I think it's pretty much agreed that you almost have to implement reset strats. As you can see, he's getting another quick kill here. When he's getting the 20-second and 30-second kills, those are exactly what you want to see as he's moving on.
Yes, in the earlier stages, their cursor speed is a little slower, and they tend to not chain as much at the beginning, so they can actually end up being a little harder in some instances, in that they're just not lowering their stack enough for you to get those quick kills. But as we'll see later on, when we see the more advanced opponents with the faster cursor speeds and the better chaining skills, you'll see them chain out of panels actually pretty frequently. They'll essentially clear themselves out of blocks.
We might get another one coming up here. He's clearing his blocks. You see
No.
he prioritized the left side, but yeah, he gets that clear on the right.
And it's RNG. We've discovered it's sort of RNG in whether or not the opponent actually sees those clears. So sometimes they'll have a clear that's pretty obvious, but sometimes they're sort of that scanning behavior. You'll see their cursor move up and down. It's RNG whether or not they actually, I guess, notice the available clear. So sometimes you can get lucky, but in later stages when their cursor is very fast, the scanning is actually much faster, and they're probably going to notice a clear that's there.
Yeah, if there's an obvious clear, they're probably gonna find it. But sometimes the board just gets so complex that it kind of breaks the AI a bit. Like second tier blocks, which are blocks above the garbage, sometimes they won't spot those even if they have a clear, especially if it's like if the patterning is really weird on top, like if there's like 4 or 5 lines of second tier blocks, they might not see it at all.
Hopefully we don't see too much of those second tier clears, because they can be a little disheartening when you're trying to go fast. You think you have the kill, and all of a sudden the opponent just reaches all the way up to the top to grab himself the block.
That's why I'm careful with my combo garbage, because combo garbage sends, when it clears, it creates garbage, or it creates blocks that they can clear. So I try to do only 2 combo garbage in my initial chain, and then that way they hopefully won't be able to find a clear off of second tier.
Yeah, I guess this is a good time to talk about stop time, in that so you saw the blocks are touching the top of the opponent's screen, but they're not dying, and that's because they have something called stop time, and you gain stop time by chaining and doing combos. The more you do, the more stop time you get, and that's basically a grace period until you end up dying. The longer the match goes on, the less stop time you end up having, or the faster it runs out. You see there with Erica getting third tier.
Erica thought third tier. I don't understand how that happens. Man, scientists are studying the mysteries of the universe. They should be studying the mystery of this AI.
Yeah, as Dev mentioned, chains and combos will extend the stop time for you. And also, when you are clearing your own garbage on your screen, you happen to be topped off at the time, that doesn't extend it, but it just puts it on pause for a second. As you can see, when the opponent's like clearing a really big garbage block on the screen, it takes forever to scroll through block by block to make it go away. And all that time that timer is just on pause, so he can set up a chain and then continue to extend it. It's a weird concept to grasp if you don't play the game, but then You kind of just get a feel for it, basically.
Yeah.
There goes Erica.
There's a
2 rows left.
There's a cool trick I do, speaking of stop time, that I try to do on Gary 1, is that I will send my garbage, I'll drop my chain and send my garbage as soon as he raises his stack, because that when you raise your stack, you reset your stop time, and Gary 1 AI is low level enough to where there's a decent chance he'll just run out of time. That strategy won't work later on, because cursor speed is just way too good.
Koga not doing Tayman any favors here, but actually he's starting his chain back up. What a nice guy. And it's
he's gonna.
looking like he's gonna drop it just a little bit, and he's still looking okay.
Yes! There we go. Very good pace so far.
Sometimes you just gotta hope there, because Koga was just trying to buy time there, and he wasn't making clears, he just kept lowering it slowly and slowly, and that stop time wasn't extending. And you gotta hope that randomly a chain doesn't fall out while he's clearing that small garbage block, and it didn't happen, so he ran out of time, and Tay was able to get that kill.
You alright for quick donation?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, we got a $5 donation from Irritable Kitten, and it was there with the final donation in the bid war for Bulbasaur.
Oh, sniped.
Yeah, and they simply said, Bulba please, and they got what they asked for.
Oh, look at that!
So yeah, thanks a lot everybody who donated towards the bid war for this game. I hope you enjoy Bulbasaur. Nobody wanted Pikachu. I can't believe it.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm sick of Pikachu.
Just because every single other run uses Pikachu.
Because it's the top option.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Save
we're just smashing
the
through.
littlest frames, and for a game as RNG as this, it really doesn't even matter, to be honest.
It doesn't, but if I miss world record by 1 second, I'm gonna be very upset with the donators.
Which, speaking of that, there's probably a question in the back of some people's heads is there any specific advantage to any of the Pokemon you choose? And it's just purely aesthetic at that point. You just pick one that you like, has better sound effects. And I'm sure you guys are hearing all the sound effects right now.
Dude, shoutouts to these sound effects. I don't get sick of them. I love this game so much.
I feel like when you've played the game as long as we have, you just don't even hear the sound effects, or you just kind of get in a groove with them, because like the more you chain, it like alters the sound. You're just like, yes, I'm doing really good right now. But on an
Got a
outside
frame
perspective,
perfect
you're
trick
like,
right
why
there.
is this Pokemon just yelling the same thing over and over again?
Yeah, thank you to everyone who donated for the Pokemon choice. No! That block's gonna fall in. Yeah, I think we raised like...
Clear right there, though.
Yeah, I'm not gonna reset here because he's so low.
He's getting the combos, and he's not setting up chains. This guy. So this is kind of what we were talking about, where like the AI can just start chaining, and every time they chain like this, they're increasing their stop time that much more. And this is how rounds can just go for minutes at a time of just the same.
Don't see second tier. No!
He might
You
go
did
second
it.
tier. And
Oh,
we got
pause
him.
buffers.
It doesn't work.
It does not work. There was a little meme a couple years back about pause buffers and how it could accelerate the in-game time and make your opponent die quicker, and which I think is true to an extent, but it's the most inconsistent thing in the world.
I mean, I hope that it just like disturbs the AI pattern, like the AI algorithm, but it doesn't. It doesn't. No, that would have been a kill if he didn't have second tier.
See, Blaine attempt number 2. He's got his combos, his 4 combo into another 4 combo to set up the blocks. And he raised his stack a little bit, but looks like he might, with that column going down, he might hit really well here.
I got another frame perfect swag chain, as you'll be seeing later.
is chaining himself out of blocks. I think this will be a good
There we
kill
go.
here. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
done.
definitely. And there's exactly the example. Like, you could see he has 3 blues on the screen left. If it was a better programmed AI, he could have dropped down his left stack and then connect the blues. But at that moment, he's focusing on the right side of the screen and it's like, I'm out of options. It's game over.
So this is Tracy, or as we affectionately call him, Trollsy. This is where the game tends to get hit that difficulty spike. The AI tends to get a little smarter, and they tend to just clear a lot more. And this is usually where runs die.
Yeah, I don't think we
They
mentioned
can.
that there's 5 difficulties in this game. Super hard being the hardest,
Oh my
very
God.
hard being the second hardest. Both have 16 stages, so we're just past the halfway point here, so everything's getting a little bit harder. And yeah, Tracy is like a common stopping point. I think everyone has their own personal demons, but Tracy, I think, is there for every single person. I don't know what it is about him.
Honestly, I've played this game enough to where everyone has ruined my runs. Everyone. But you definitely remember it more in the later stages.
Oh yeah, those will hurt the most because, I mean, we've done a good job of minimizing the RNG, especially with the exploits, but all it takes, especially with how far down the time is now on the leaderboards, is just that one little thing to go wrong. There's probably countless runs in the past that were actually still world record, but the last stage, who I won't spoil right now, just gave everyone some troubles. And you technically can manipulate the last fight, but you really can't at the same time, and we'll explain that later as well.
Yeah,
The
there's
last
a
fight-
so
Or go ahead.
I was gonna say that the AI having some blind spots helps us run this game. There's a reason why no one runs Planet Puzzle League for the DS, is because the AI is too good that runs take forever. I've never actually ran that game. I know Cards of the Heart has a little bit because he's a crazy person.
If I may interject right now on the kill that you had on Tracy, can I just say, that was a thick boy. That was one thick garbage block you used to kill him, and you see that all too often. Like, this game, you basically know what you're doing, but I love it. There's 3 main categories for this game, and one of them's like a time trial mode, which is based on points alone. So that's kind of like just showing off your skills with chaining as fast as you can. There's a line clear mode that's called Spa Service, where it involves clearing as fast as you can, so it's a showcase of speed and how fast you can make things clear. And then you have the Versus mode, which is like probably the most popular mode, even though it has the most RNG. But it's a mixture of everything, and it's a lot of reactive thinking, because your opponents will usually always be doing something different, and you got to know how long to extend your chain or when to drop it, because a lot of your playstyle is based on that. If they exhaust all their blocks on their screen, then that's your time to let your chain go if you send enough.
They're taking a reset, and a lot of times you get those matches where you think if you just let them run just a little bit long, maybe you'll get that kill, but it's just the sunken cost fallacy every time.
Yeah, I'm just, you know, hypothetically, like maybe you would have gotten the kill, but
At that point, it's
that was
just
a
not
bad
worth it.
that was a bad block arrangement there.
Gotta block really low on Rocket there, though, and they're not
Ooh,
being very smart with
nice.
their blocks. Oh, yeah, that was dumb. Good job.
I think that's the perfect example of the quick kill there. You saw how many blocks were on the right side, and you're just screaming at yourself if that was you. Like, just move those blocks down, give yourself more room to work with. Nope, doesn't work that way.
And they tend
Dude,
to prioritize clears too when they're moving stuff down, so they end up like clearing the blocks that could have been used to clear the garbage block. Just really dumb AI sometimes.
We got
I've seen
Geomon
Misty.
now. Oh, go ahead.
I've seen Misty go from like line 10 to being dead because of just not having a clear on the main garbage block and then just having bad block arrangement. So I was just like, well, let's just see how this pans out, and then eventually it got to the point where she was dead.
The AI can do some really funny stuff in this game. You just can't explain it sometimes. And then they do pretty cool stuff, like Giovanni did kind of a swag chain there. I love Giovanni. I think he has my favorite music personally in the game, and I think Nidoking has like the most intimidating sound. Like when you hear Nidoking chaining on you, you're just like, uh-oh, it's over for me.
We are 0 for 2 on Persian, and Persian has probably the worst sound in the whole game.
No, it's ear grating.
It only gets better as it progresses too. I mean, as you guys have probably seen if you're familiar with the Pokemon anime, it's based a lot on the progression, like the gym leaders, and we're going to be getting into the Elite Four pretty soon. So look out for Lorelei, who's going to be coming up in not this next stage, but the one after that. She has one Pokemon in specific I hope we get. That's a really great sound effect.
It's my favorite.
Dude,
In this whole run.
everyone
Great
share
to
your
RNG gods right now. The run is completely worth it if that happens.
everyone share your best Richie moment. Your favorite Richie moment from the anime. You might have noticed how you don't have one. Like, honestly, when I've done runs of this before, some people just don't remember Tracy or Richie.
I remember Richie just because he's my run killer. Like, my runs always end at Richie.
It was always Tracy and Richie for me. Those two, I think, yeah, have shared. We have a nickname for him too, but we'll save that one for another day.
Yeah,
Join the
use
community
your
if you want to know.
imagination.
Yeah.
We do have a safe nickname for Richie called Discount Ash.
I don't think anyone likes him, to be honest. You're just like,
How did he have
why
time?
does this character exist?
I'm pretty sure in the anime he said that he'd see Ash again one day, and he never showed up ever again.
Probably for the best, though.
I mean, I never really watched the anime much. Digimon was objectively better.
Oh,
Oh, that is a hot take right now.
my brother would love you for that.
And Richie just being Richie here. Just not really doing Tayman any favors whatsoever. Just not lowering a stack, clearing everything. This is about the stage where this is just really common. You kind of hope for them to just continually clear themselves out of blocks.
Which he might get that right now. Richie is doing a lot.
Pretty good.
Here we go.
Nice.
A good drop. I think that's it.
So, the hardest thing about this game is, it might have been mentioned earlier,
Cross your fingers.
But-
everyone.
Oh yeah.
but I need to, while I'm chaining, I'm also glancing over at the AI stage.
Dang it.
Sorry, we didn't get Cloister, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's a little disappointing. But that is definitely the skill that you 100% need to master to be good at this game, because this game's all about timing.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna try that. I don't think that's gonna work.
Timing is so
Nope.
big. You need the general skill at first, because it's not easy to extend all these chains out, but like, you gotta take it on a whole nother level to know when to exactly drop stuff.
And Lorelei ended up digging herself out and
Yeah.
getting that clear. And getting another. But she's
Aw.
really bad with her blocks here, so she
I was
might-
hoping she would have cleared those reds too, and then she probably would have been just out of options at that point.
Holy
Oh,
shit, she just
okay.
cleared.
She's
Yeah.
That's
actually taking herself out of blocks here.
That could be good. She's still
This
got
could be
options
good.
though.
Oh my gosh, she still had it.
I'm pretty sure that when they clear garbage, they're guaranteed to get something that would make them a clear down below.
Maybe to an extent, like maybe matching a color, but there are situations where you don't even have enough colors to make a match. So
Right.
I think I know what you're saying though.
Well, if the game sees that you have like 2 purples below the garbage, they'll give you a purple, for instance.
She went up for second tier there just because. She didn't even need to.
I think she's asking, yeah, exactly, TaymanND to do a reset strat.
Oh, we got Cloister!
Yeah.
Alright, we're just gonna shut up for a little bit and let you guys listen to the beauty of the sound effect. Well, if she doesn't cut her chain.
Now that's disappointing.
That is so disappointing. Are you kidding, Lorelai? Are you serious right now? She's got to do at least like a 4 chain to hear the alternate one, but when she gets to the 6s and higher, it just keeps going and going. But
She's doing no change
okay,
at all.
I think we're good now. It's gonna. No, oh, it reset. I didn't notice. Wow, how disappointing. We hyped.
Yeah, people are gonna want their money back. What if we could make a mod for this game where we always got Cloister?
Are you speaking just for Lorelai or for all 16 stages?
I think the priority of this mod has to be Cloister first.
Well, I'm happy you got a quick kill, but I'm disappointed that Lorelai
Yeah.
just did so awful.
Yeah, that's really disappointing. Dude, shout outs to the voice actors who did this.
Control your inner nature there.
Troll your inner nature.
I have some nightmares about Bruno. Some previous old runs. You get so close and then all of a sudden he just ruins it for you. And he's got some intimidating Pokemon too. You don't like to hear that going off on you. Oh, he almost completely cleared, but yeah, this might be a good situation here. He's gonna have the greens though.
Yeah, I see the second tier. So I looked over there. Saw he had second tier. That's like an extra layer of insurance for him, so I'm just gonna reset right there.
Very smart reset.
Yeah, and Bruno's cursor speed is so fast, he would definitely make it up to second.
Yeah, they become almost inhuman at this point. Don't get me wrong, there's a net play scene that's pretty thriving for the series of this game, and we have some like incredibly talented people in PvP. But still, like watching this, these guys go super fast.
I went for the...
I don't know if we've seen any Forky strats here yet.
That's a good question right there.
You know, I'll just roll out a Forky strat right here.
Oh, here we go.
You know I gotta get some clout, right? It wouldn't be the same without it. So, to preface this right now, TaymanND's doing something. It could work out, actually. Sometimes it does, but it originated that once you chain up to a certain point in this game, it'll stop, like, counting how high your garbage block is. It just caps at that point. And in the game, did we get a kill here?
Sorry, I saw the kill, so I had to cut it off.
No, I don't blame you at all, man.
Very smart.
It was like,
But it'll cut off your chain at a certain point, and it'll display it as a mystery on the screen. You can disable it and get the, get it to keep counting. But it was funny because when I started to run it first, I would do it all the time, and there were runs where it was just crazy good luck. So that's basically just how it originated.
And that used to be like the original strat for this game was just chain as much as you can and fill up their screen, and that they stayed filled up. And then you would have 6+ minute rounds, but it's all good because you filled up their screen. And we've gotten better now to the point where we can manipulate them, but
oh man, that was so close. The Reds just bailed Gary out here. It is important to mention that we are coming up on the end of this run. We have 2 stages left. These are going to be really significant. We have this one, and we have 1 stage right afterward with our mystery champion.
Mystery champion.
Once
Well-
TaymanND beats this stage, he cannot reset on the final stage, or else he has to go back to Gary. So he can reset all he wants on Gary right now. When he gets to the final stage, he's got to hope he gets some luck and gets his chain off at the beginning, or else most of the time you're just in it for the long run. I don't think I've ever seen anyone reset on Mewtwo unless it was just like a pure meme at that point. Maybe Lightning did it one time. That sounds like something he would do.
Spoilers, you totally spoiled it.
Oh my god. I'm an idiot.
Wow.
I'm banned. Get me out of
Unbelievable.
here, guys. My brain just went on autopilot. You guys didn't hear anything, just mute the stream.
But yeah, as Forky was saying, like the final stage can either be won in like 10 seconds, or it can be won in, I think the longest I've seen it go is like 27 minutes. Just because
Wow.
the final stage, he's so incredibly fast, and you can just get so incredibly unlucky.
We promise the game's not as brutal as we make it out to be. It can be fun. It can be fun.
Gary, come on.
Got them red.
Honestly, speedrunning this has to be a labor of love. I just enjoy the mechanics of this game a lot. Tetris Attack was the very first game I ever played when I was 5. So I kind of... Honestly, I was probably this good at the game when I was like 8 years old.
This game tends to bring out a lot of the nostalgia for a lot of people, and then like people are like, we get so many people in the community that come in out of nowhere and just be like, I just saw a run in a marathon, and we see that all the time.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
And now Tay moving on to the final stage. Who would have guessed? It's Mewtwo, guys. No spoilers whatsoever.
Yeah, as they were saying, he cannot lose or reset at all in this, or else he has to go back to Gary. So he has to end this here.
And time will be immediately when Mewtwo dies. It's the second like his cursor disappears on his screen, so it can be like pretty random. Tay's got a pretty decent start right now, and Mewtwo's nice. But yeah, as soon as you give him credit, then he starts doing stuff like that.
It's like, oh, thanks, man. He's actually being really bad with his blocks here, but I think he's got that clear there, yeah.
So I hope you guys like the gamble, because it's pretty much a guess from here on out. I should say there are strats you can do within the mid game to try to reset up quick kill strats, because you can layer your blocks appropriately to where the opponent clears them, and then you have 2-4 combos that appear at the top again. It's really hard to time it when it's not at the beginning of the match, but there are backup strats, and you'll see Tay try to go for those, or just try to separate in any ways you can, because you've seen him, a lot of his new chains that he's starting are still starting with 4 combos.
Yeah, it's generally a good practice to always try and start your chain with a combo. For one, you might get that quick kill, but for another thing, it always adds another line to the amount of garbage you send, and the more lines you send, the better, because you want to keep your opponent topped off.
Yeah, it's a good strat for pretty much any aspect you play this game, whether it's speedrunning it or in PvP. It's like combos are so good to just sprinkle in here and there.
Yeah.
You never want to allow your opponent to raise their stack.
To be honest, I'm not as good at versus.
Versus is the beast. There's little details of this game, like you see how quickly it takes blocks to clear. When you're in versus, people have gotten so good. There's different levels, and what those levels determine is the amount of stop time that you have and how quickly blocks clear. So the hardest level in most of the games is level 10, and it's pretty insane how quickly everything clears. But people have gotten so good that they're maxing out timers going past 10 minutes on level 10. That in the fan-made version of it, they've even like made harder levels for people to try to keep going.
All right, that's time.
Nice, good job, Tay.
Time.
Man, that could have gone so much worse. I botched that initial chain on Mewtwo. I didn't have good block arrangement. That could have gone on for 10 minutes, so I'm happy with 2:35. What was the final time? I'm gonna guess 24:58.
I was gonna guess much higher, actually. I don't know. I was gonna say it was in the low 30 range.
I think it went pretty well.
I think it went relatively well. There were some holdups here and there, though.
Yeah, such is how this game goes usually.
What's our verdict? I'll bring up the stream.
34-10.
Ah, yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh shoot,
Hey, man, was in the
34:10.
zone, dude.
Oh my god, okay, I'm satisfied with that.
30-minute time is really good, especially for a
solid.
marathon. Like, there are not a lot of people who've even like sub 40 in this game. So, with Tay being able to do that consistently, and most of the time he's in the 20-minute range too. He's a very well-respected player in the game.
Yeah, it's the aggressive reset strats that help. So I don't think we're gonna have time for the easy mode, but we did.
You did
meet
the incentive, yes, that's right. I was about to say,
Yes.
yeah, we reached the $100 donation incentive for Pokemon, the swag chains.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Alright, so the swag chain showcase, they're exactly as they sound. They're just really swaggy chains that aren't really intended. They're kind of like Hail Marys in order to continue your chain. So, I've not shown this to my commentators, but they know what's going on.
And to talk about this a little bit, Puzzle University is a mode where you can just edit any block arrangements that you want. So Tay's able to try to do these chains. So I'll let him take it away from here, though.
Yeah, so this first one right here actually is intended. We can catch this block and use it as a platform. So I'll go through that one more time. So we actually catch it for a frame or two. If you do it too soon, it just drops down and you don't get the clear. So you'll see the AI going for that. So that one actually kind of is intended.
Yeah, they actually will show you that into the tutorials, but it's a really hard one to get. I think specifically it's a 3-frame trick and the game runs at 60 FPS, but I always get those mixed up.
Yeah, it's 3 frames at, I think, lower speed. I think it actually goes to 2 frames at higher levels.
Okay.
Alright, so this one actually is 1 frame at 60 FPS. See if I can get it. First try. Okay, so
Nice.
so how this works is that, so as soon as I clear these greens here, there's going to be a flag chain put onto this purple here because it's in motion. If you swap that in the frame it lands, the frame flag, the chain flag is still applied to it. So it counts as a chain. Because I think the game needs like 2 frames to register a chain or a clear, so it still counts.
That one is actually really hard to do, and you tend to get that one accidentally a lot more than you tend to get it on purpose. But it's super nice when you get it.
Yeah, so that's one of the hardest ones. This one, let's see if I can. Actually, I could show off 2 here. I was a little late on that. I'm gonna swap these right before they drop.
Oh, I
And
know
then they
exactly both of them you're doing.
Yep, and then they don't clear until they fall, and then they register as a chain. And then what else I can do is actually clear this right as it falls, the frame it falls, just like that.
Very nice.
Yeah, there's just like little things you can abuse to like fit it into the chaining window, and it looks pretty cool because it's like they were supposed to clear at the same time, but the timing was just a couple of frames off, so they count as 2 different chains, and that's really good strategies to make your garbage extend out more.
And I do want to point out, these are really hard tricks that he's making look super easy right now.
Especially
Dude,
this one coming up here. This is a really difficult one.
First try. Not quite.
See, that's why you don't say first try beforehand, Tay. You messed up.
It was bound to happen.
This is one of the hardest ones. I believe we term this as the catch, because you're literally catching the piece out of the air and swapping it through. But that one is frame perfect and very difficult to do.
Actually, I want to go.
Yeah, the blocks drop at a certain amount every frame, and you have to catch it at the exact frame that it aligns with the block next to it in order to get that to register as a chain. So it's really hard to do.
Yeah, blocks fall 1 row per frame, so this is a 1 frame trick. So I'm just swapping that in with the cursor, that frame. Just want to get it one more time here. This is being dumb.
The pressure.
There we go.
This is one I will like almost hardly ever go for, because I play a fair bit of PvP, and you'll see people regularly use these. That's how confident they are. But something like that, it has to be a last resort. Like, I'm dead unless I go for this.
Alright, this is a pretty easy one. I'm just gonna like make these purples drop on themselves as they're falling. And then that counts as a clear. If you do it too soon, the blocks will clear right away on the spot. It won't count as a chain.
Yeah, this one's a really nice way to continue your chain, especially if you don't have blocks nearby and you see a little group falling. This one's pretty consistent and pretty easy to get.
Yeah, that's a good beginner swag chain. This is another 1 frame trick.
This one is so weird to think about how it works.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's so weird to think about. It's just like you grab it out of there. You can't do the red at the very top. You have to grab it while it's falling, or else it won't count as a chain. It's so funny to look at though. I love that one.
Yeah, that one's pretty great.
I've never seen.
And I
that
will
one
say,
before. I am surprised by that one.
Dude, if you play Tetris Attack specifically, where the engine's still a little bit funky and not perfected, you'll see some of the weirdest stuff. Like, shoutouts to Cards of the Heart, a longtime member of the community. He has some clips on his channel, and I'm like, how are these chains?
Dude, we're always finding out new stuff about the game. So this last one is just a little swag puzzle I made that has 2 tricks in it. We're gonna do a swap in, and then a catch right there.
Very nice.
Oh, first try.
Yeah, first
that was
try.
Cool. That like kind of combined everything he was showing you there.
I tried to make one with like 4 tricks in it, but I don't think I'd have that many moves, and also I don't have that creative of a brain.
There's people that like try to do like 4 frame perfect tricks in a row, and I'm like, what are you doing, man?
I've gotten like 3 in a row, but 4 is just
Sometimes
asking too much.
You just feel it, and you're just going for it. But that was pretty good display, Tay. Thanks for showing that off. That, like Dev said earlier, none of that was easy, especially like at the end there. Like, I can't believe he got that first try too. That's so difficult to get down.
But yeah, that concludes our demonstration of Pokemon Puzzle League. Feel free to follow me at TaymanND. I stream this casually, pretty regularly. And then also, we have a Puzzle General Discord. You can Google that if you want to hang out with other people that like puzzle games more than PPL. Just any puzzle game you can think of.
Easy one to remember. But yeah, you need to search Puzzle General, find us on Twitter and stuff.
Alright, you guys, that's it. Anything else?
Thanks.
No, that's everything. It was a pretty good run.
Yeah, that was solid. That was awesome.
All
Play
right.
puzzle games, guys. They're fun.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming. That was Pokemon Puzzle League by Tayman. Coming up next, we have Pokemon Yellow, any % glitchless by